What's up, guys? Welcome back to Breakout Trading. Today I'm going to be going over, unfortunately, a red day recap. So this is that's what the P&L's at today. Not looking good. We traded 4 tickers, took the biggest L on APDN, took a small loss on BIMI, had 2 winners on CHCI and a small loss in UABS, which was a winner, and I decided to put on a bit more risk, and unfortunately that trade did not work out. So yeah, this one just wrecked me today. If it wasn't for APDN, I think I'd be up like a small profit, something like 20 bucks. Take that off. Yeah, this is the trades for today, just really bad. At the start of the morning, I was watching these 4 up here. So these are my 2 spies. Ignore these down here. So on my watch list, I had APDN. It was gapping up pretty huge. It was the leading gapper. Low float of 3 million shares. And it had a COVID treatment. That was the news. So that was my #1 trade, honestly. It was looking good right out of the gates. Maybe it was too crowded at the beginning of the day with like the 2 million pre-market traded or something. I'm not sure. Anyways, we're going to be going in depth over what I did. I recorded these trades live, so we'll be going back watching the video. This might be a longer one because I really just want to get in depth as to what I did wrong, how I can improve for next time, and yeah, I'm just going to be watching exactly what I did after the fact, after I'm out of all my positions, where I have a clear mind. I can kind of look it over and see what I did wrong. So that was APDN. Next one we had was BIMI, and this stock had a purchase agreement, again a low float of 4.7 million, and it was also gapping up green. CHCI had a really low float again, 2 million, and it had a good sales report, but I had low volume at the start of the day. And then UABS is like a drone company, and they had some good news too about delivering drones. These weren't, honestly, APDN was the #1, and I'm surprised how badly it performed today. The other 3 I was just kind of watching for backups, and I ended up making a pretty good profit on CHCI on the frontwards move off the open, so we'll be going over that. So I guess I can just roll the clip first, and we will watch as that goes. So this is me in the morning. Let me just figure this out for a second. Okay, so this is oh, wrong foot. 1 sec. Okay, yeah. So this is 7:29. 1 minute before the opening bell. You can see that I have APDN up on the screen, and this is the pre-market activity here. And you can see I have the pre-market high marked off at 8:30 area. And what I was doing is I was getting an order ready to buy a pullback for a push through the pre-market high and sell into the strength. So you can see here I'm getting my order ready. I was going to go over 30 shares. Yeah, once again, this whole video is 41 minutes long. I'm not going to be going through the whole thing, but I am going to be taking a bit of time on this. So, if you don't like the longer videos, I'm sorry. I don't really like them either, but I really just want to take my time with this one. So, right out of the opening bell, we're about to open up here in 15 seconds. You can see that I took away my pre-market activity because I like my VWAP to be without pre-market. It's more accurate in the for the volume. Once the market opens, that's when the full volume's there, so you get a more accurate view of. I'm getting ready. I'm raising my limit price so that when it pulls back, I can hit the buy. So right now, I have my limit price here at 860. So I'm watching it. It's over pre-market highs right now, so it's looking really ripe for a nice pump. You can see this is only 9 seconds in, and I just clicked submit there at 860. The current price is trading at 861, so I pretty much get filled immediately. trade just got filled.
Order filled.
And now I go try and put a stop loss. And this is where I should have just stuck with this, what I was doing right here. This isn't good. I was placing a stop loss below the first 1 minute candle, 818. And I know it was close. It wasn't moving nearly as much as I was hoping out of the gates. So I put in my stop loss. You can see that all day there's been huge asks. All day there's been big sellers, and I should have just stopped right here when I got stopped out for a small loss of, I think, $15.
APDN.
So you can
APDN.
see right there, and that's a stock screener I use. That's that voice in the background. So unfortunately, I cannot take that away. I guess I can turn off the volume here. Okay. So now I just took the first loss, and now what I'm doing is I'm looking at my left side screen, seeing if there's any other tickers that are moving. So I come across BIMI, it looks like. Let's speed this up a little. I don't think so. So looks like I didn't see anything in BIMI, so now I'm back at APDN. And this is the mistake I make. I decide to hop back in. Why do I decide to hop back in? Because it was one of the only ones out of the 4 that hadn't pumped significantly yet. So my thinking is that all 4 are pumping. This one must just be trailing behind. It was the leading gapper, as everyone was looking at. So I decided to hop in. But if you notice, at this point, price has failed to rally at all out of the gates. The first 1 minute candle's red with red volume, as is the second 1 minute candle. I should not be longing this right now at all. That is a key thing that I did wrong. And you can see the price is below VWAP and below the pre-market high. I don't know why I decided to hop back in here, but I did. Because I can see it sort of pushing over. I'm waiting for more. At this point, I should just be hopping out, taking that $2 commission loss for a nice break even, and instead I decide to hold. So we're still below VWAP, and right there you can see that bids at the 820 area. This is what has been happening all day. Is they just big sellers. I want to try and catch that seller. I don't even know if we'll be able to see. Yeah, you can see the tape just speeds up, and there's not really a significant seller there. At this point, I should have. Now I'm stuck. That's the thing, is if you don't sell at break even, or once it's not going your direction, then what happens is you're stuck now. So I have nowhere to put a good stop loss. I've screwed myself because now this thing's dumping. I bought the top, and I have no exit plan. So I try to watch for any big bids coming up. I'm not seeing any. As of now, I'm not too sure what the plan is, which is also never a good thing. I should have a stop loss up right now, a tight stop, to make sure I can get out without taking a huge loss. You can see I'm down 16 here, so 30 on the day so far because of the first loss. I see PIXY getting halted to the upside right out of the gates here. So I decide to, this is nothing. Why am I changing the screen away from APDN. Why am I not looking at that? And like either getting out right now or doing something with it. It's not just like, I think I was hoping it would just kind of play out this correction out of the gates and then just continue upwards like these other ones, how they're just kind of green and above VWAP. I was looking for a break here, and you can see I actually try to buy. So this would have been an excellent play actually. So I used my hotkey for this one. You can see I'm looking for a break of 3. Right there we have it. There's the break. And I try to buy 90 shares on the ask. And this is the issue with my hotkeys, is that the spread is so huge. The spread is 293 on the bid, 293 on the bid, excuse me, and $3 on the ask, that when I use my hotkey to buy on the bid, it's way too low and I won't get filled. So that's kind of a disgusting spread, honestly. Low volume. So you can see it, I missed the fill there, and it goes on a bit of a tear without me. I try to buy again on a pullback, this time at my price is 301. The price comes down to 302, and I don't get filled, so I cancel out of that one, and it continues up without me again. This time I try to go to this order entry panel and do it with this so that I can actually get filled at a good price. And I'm deciding on 312, and I should have just, here's the thing, is that's actually not a good place to buy. I was looking for a pullback to this high here. Yeah, you can see I use my cursor there. You can see I'm waving, looking for some big bids I can hop in front of. Not really seeing anything. We're holding above 3, which is a good sign. And it continues to tell me again. So I'm kind of glad here that I didn't chase. I didn't just try and hop in at 313, 314 by the top. I was trying to be patient, wait for a pullback to around VWAP or this high. Looking for that wash to get long. And unfortunately I just don't really see it coming, so I decided to switch back to APDN, and you can see that already this thing's just tanking. And right now, you can see my cursor is angry. Right now I'm just waiting for a bounce to get out. I'm waiting for a bounce to VWAP, any sort of bounce, but this thing just doesn't bounce all day. The leading gapper just gives back everything, which is so frustrating. And then I flip back, and this is moving up to pre-market highs here. I still haven't got in on this either. VWAP is now extended up. You can see missed this one. Just in the wrong places at the wrong time, it seemed. So I think, yeah, so right here I end up buying the dip. Goodbye, honestly. Goodbye. So bought 100 shares there. Cost was 327. I'm looking for a break. You can see it's already struggling. There's a nice bid here at 330. Some nice bids. I'm looking for the orders. Trying to see the tape move fast. Lots of green if I can see it. I should have a stop loss up right now, which I do not. And you can see that it just starts to turn on me. Now we've landed onto VWAP support, so this is where I'd like to manage my risk from. You can see me looking at the potential 313 area for a stop loss, and I'm waiting because I want to use my hotkey to get out if I can, because this one's just not looking too hot. I decided to go ahead and put my stop loss there at the 313 area. And this one just can't hold VWAP. There's no volume left. Big ask at 321, and I end up getting stopped out, I think, off screen. This one too, no bounce whatsoever. I should have just left this first trade as is. I should have had that first loser. Okay, that's fine, whatever. Whatever, right? And then that would be it. But instead I've turned it into a much larger loser. Once again, leaving that, just waiting for some sort of bounce. I'll move up my stop loss. Nice tight one right under VWAP. This looks like its chance to reverse here if it wants to. This is looking good. Not much volume or push into that pump. And you can see here it's starting to stall out. Probably should have just went for a break-even trade. Looks like I'm trying to get an order ready to sell half. Oh yeah, okay, I remember what happens here. This is pretty nasty. So we're looking good. We're squeezing up past the high day. I have my order ready to sell, some at 3.43. Once we break this high, right away get out half my position and let the other half ride. At that point, I would have moved my stop loss up. So I'm waiting for that break, and right there, I should have sold half of my position. I'm up a decent $13. That would have made back the original loss from APDN had I not been in it right now again. And you can see we're stalling here, and then look at the asks. So we have some huge sell walls pop up here at the 340 area. It just went away, and then if you watch, there's probably a huge seller that comes because this thing just gets rejected. I try to bail out right here, and you can see all those big sellers that just stepped in. So once again, we're pushing, we have resistance, it's bailing, trying to throw in that sell order for one last pop-up, and unfortunately, all these big sellers come at 330, and there is a big drop. This tape is horrible on Interactive Brokers. It is so hard to read the tape with this platform. Like, where did those orders go? It's so confusing. So unfortunately I have to cancel that sell order. This thing looks like a double top now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get stopped out. Have a good stop below VWAP. And there we see the tape speed up and I get stopped out there. Good stop, good trade, no regrets there. A bit frustrating because nothing seems to be working this morning, but I don't regret this trade. That was a fine trade. I do regret APDN, so still this thing's just bleeding. This is so painful. Here's my entry up here at like 8:45 area. And what do? Like, I guess I should have just sold, but it's just so brutal. I'm just waiting for some sort of bounce. I shouldn't have been in this at all along. So many sellers in that. So then I move over to CHCI. This one got halted off of the start, and then looks like it's pumping up pretty nicely. It's got good volume. This was one of the ones I had on my watch list for the day. So now it looks like I'm just watching it, waiting for an entry. So right here, you can see me getting my order entry ready for to buy on VWAP, going for 100 shares. So you can already see that I'm sort of getting a little bit fat fingered. So 100 shares at 4.23 is 423 US. So that's pretty big for my account. I'm not sure. So I'm just waiting here, looking for a pop, looking for some direction, either buy a big dip to view up or buy a push past the highs. Excuse me. So it looks like I'm watching this thing, got the mouse on the buy key. My price up to 450. And I can see it's starting to squeeze up here. Looks good. Okay, so we just hopped in there. Let's rewind it a little bit. So this is what I'm watching. I got my order for 450, so this is 450 here. If I click buy, once I see it squeezing into 450, I'll get filled at the best price. It's much faster than my hotkey, or much better fill than my hotkey. I actually get filled. So you can see I'm watching, you can see the tape and the level 2 sort of speed up. That was really fast. I'm in already for 100 shares. Now I don't know why I don't have a stop loss here, but this thing is pumping up pretty nicely. You can see the larger share size, the P&L unrealized is much bigger, for good or for bad. Not sure why I don't have a stop loss in, especially when below VWAP. I think at this point I'm kind of refusing to take a loss, which is never a good strategy. And you can see that I just sold there for a small gain. And I have 10 shares left. Tried to sell there, and then I realized, well, oh yeah, okay, right, I'm selling. So it looks like I sold early here. Check to see. I think I made a good chunk on that trade. Was that that might have been the $35 trade. I don't know if I trade this one again. I actually think I do. So that was pretty. Oh yeah, I do trade this one again. So that was the first one. I think that was around $15 profit. It's coming up to $5. Looking nice. Good sell. No regrets. Back to APDN. Oh my god. This thing is still bleeding. So brutal. So at this point, I've screwed myself because I'm stuck in a position now and the loss is pretty big, unrealized. I see there's some potential support here at 7. So I'm hoping this thing can finally turn around, at least get to VWAP so I can bail out with a reduced loss. But you can see how when you hold on to a losing position, you just bleed more and more, and it gets to the point where you can't take that big of a loss, so you let that big loss initially turn into an even bigger loss. So terrible, terrible play. Looks like I put in a stop loss. No, I decided to leave it. Go back to CHCI. I can see that it's pumping nice. I look for, this is a great trade so far. So sold on the break of this high. Now I'm looking for a retest of 442 area and VWAP. So it gets halted to the upside. Okay. It got halted. Go back to APDN, and it has broken that support. I should have had my stop loss here. And you can see how my P&L is just eating me alive. All the longs that everyone who bought this is just bailing. Shorts are loving this. It's really painful. I just can't. Now I'm in a loss where I don't want to cut because it's 45, whereas if I cut it up here, it was only like 15. The first time it was only 15. I should have just stuck with that initial failure of a scalp. Really brutal. I decided to leave a sell order for half, so for 15 shares, up here at VWAP in case when I'm looking at something else it decides to pop up and get rejected, at least I'm half out of my position. So go back to BIMI, and this is the one I had that stop loss set on. It decides to break down and then comes and curls back up. Now we flip back to CHCI, it's halted. I check the daily, I see a big support there, or a big resistance there. I mean, no, big resistance, it broke through at 285. So once again, to the pain machine. No way out. Keep setting lower supports, but this thing just keeps blasting through them. Okay, so here's our second trade on CHCI. So now I come back after the halt, and I can see that it's dumped right down. This is an excellent trade. I love this ticker. I did great on this today. Bought the initial breakout. Now it's coming back. It's retesting the VWAP and this support, previous resistance, now support level I had mapped out. I was extremely confident in this trade. I see it right away. I hop in to buy 50 shares, half as many as before because I went pretty hard before. It's been a long morning. I'm trying to watch APDN for way too long. It's just been killing me. So you can see it. This is an excellent trade. Throw my limit order up there. It would have been good to just execute right away here at 462. I'm not sure why I'm messing with it. There we go. I realized that. Now it's above 462. Get to 468. I missed the entry. Patience, patience. Hit it right there. Perfect entry. Get filled right away for everything. And then I have a nice clear place to put my stop loss. This was an excellent trade. So you can see when I see I have a clear spot to put the stop loss, I end up putting the stop loss there like that, which is very good. Whereas trades where I don't see a clear area for stop loss, like APDN, I screw myself over because I just let the loss grow. The key is to buy dips with a key area that you can put your stop loss. You throw it in, you set it and forget it. That's the way to do it. Here you go, making sure it says stop, 435, my share size, boom, we're in, stop loss below VWAP. Excellent trade, and then I just sell into this push. There we go, that's it. How much were we up there? So up like a nice 20 bucks. Excellent, excellent trade. cancel the stop loss. Beautiful. That's how I want it. That was a picture perfect by the dip VWAP support play right there. Stairs SR flip play as well. Beautiful. And then we go back to this bitch. So right now, I don't know, you guys, if you are commenting on this, what would you do in this situation? Would you cut your loss right away, take the 40, try and put a stop loss below 677, sell half maybe, add? Right now wasn't sure what to do. I was hoping that one of these supports would hold, but none of them did, and my loss just kept growing. I did have the winner on CHCI, so I could technically take this as a loss and break even somewhat, but I guess maybe I got greedy. I just refused to take the L on this because I let it get big. You cannot let your losses get big. You can see that I could have possibly held CHCI a bit longer. That's alright though. I think that was a fantastic little by the dip play. So, and then the rest of the video is just me messing around with that one. Oh, this is another great little trade. So I put my stop loss below 677, I decide. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to leave this here. Because if it breaks this low, I want out. Even though it's a pretty decent sized loss. And then I see UAVS, the drone company, curling back up past its pre-market high, which was this blue line. And VWAP, so I decided to take a little play up here to the high of day, to 15. Oh gosh, I don't know why I'm yelling so much. So you can see here I put in an order for 250 shares, which is $250 because this is $1 stock. My price is 101. I'm waiting for a little bit of a break. Watching. There we go. I think this is one of the reasons I clicked some is I can see the VWAP curling up here, indicating that even though the volume's not here yet, the volume is surging upwards, if you may. Oh, maybe that was a glitch, I'm not sure. Anyways, we're in. Also, don't know why I don't have a stop loss. Maybe I do end up putting one here. Looks like I'm somewhat confident this one, so I end up throwing up the sell orders first to get out. Alright, because this is 250 shares, and that's pretty fat. My hotkey only goes up to 90 shares. Maybe I need to adjust that. Put an order for 106 and for 110 to sell half here. There we go, we just sold half. That was a nice trade too, actually. So that's like $5 right there. Seeing a nice little green volume. Great little pump. Looks like I opt to cancel the limit order and use the hotkey to get out because this thing's starting to stall. There we go, and I'm out. Oh, never mind, I have 10 shares left. This is the one where I just decide to hold the last 10 shares. It's $10 because the commissions, I think, are like $2, so I should have made it so that that last sell I got out. That's alright with everything. I'm gonna just let this one ride. It's only $10. Back to APDN. See, I'm like, I could have just had such a good day focusing on other stuff, but I just cut this one. Just gotta cut those losers. You can see now that there's a pretty clear resistance level here at 730, which is not ideal. So we're stuck in this range. Now UAVS got halted to the upside. I kind of wished I was in that, but I still have my tiny 10 shares. and I end up getting stopped out on APDN for the second time. So now I'm back to this one, resumption from halt opens up, and I decide to hop back in for a dip down to this level here, the high of day, which is 115, and the resumption from halt level. So I make it 240, so it's 250 total. Put in my order right there, I'm in again. And once again, I don't have a very clear spot to put my stop loss, so I don't put one, which is a bad sign. I think it looks like I do put one, but I wait on it. I don't do it right away because I know it's not a good stop. You can see me stalling to put that in there. And I eventually do put it in, and I get stopped out. So I probably shouldn't have taken that second trade on this. It gave back all the gains from this first one, and that's how I ended down $4 on it. And then that brings us back to APDN, which is just breaking lower and lower. And unfortunately, what I do is I do this down move. So right now in the day, I think we're down like 40 something. What I decide to do here is on APDN, for all of those trades that I just showed in the video, after, what is this, 10, 20, 10, 15 minutes, I decide to hop back in because it looks like it's squeezing out. Shocker, it doesn't. Just so brutal. At this point, I'm just wanting to get my money back from the stock, which is a horrible idea. And you can see that once again, there's no break. Looking at this in hindsight, it looks horrible. I don't know why I thought there'd be a breakout. It's just because I was down on it. You can see I'm just giving back more money to it. Found some support at 655. Looked like it was going to break, and then you can see a massive seller comes through. Oh, I don't think this is quite it. This one just was being held down all day, I felt like. The longs didn't even have a chance to breathe on this one. So many sellers. It's hitting this resistance here at around $7. Just gets fully rejected. Yeah, this is the move. So it looks like it's going to break. It looks pretty good, honestly. And then right here, it just gets slammed down. Watch the orders going through. There's one massive seller. See how the tape's not speeding up? It's just like stalling. That's your sign that this thing's going to drop. So I think it happens pretty quick, but right here I think it is. So what is that? These are times 100. So he's selling over 6 million shares at $6.55 a pop. So that's a $43 million sell order, and this thing just tanks right after and ends up breaking this support after getting rejected from $7. I still don't have a stop loss on. It's because I'm at this point in denial, and now we've made our losses even bigger on this one. It's so frustrating. So I ended up selling this at $6, getting stopped out again. So brutal. This is the final thing. This is what it looks like right now. Absolutely brutal. So this was the entry there, and we tried to wait it out this whole time, and I ended up selling here by mistake. Actually, I was trying to put a stop loss here at 598, but whatever, it blasted through that anyway. So brutal loss on this one ticker. If it wasn't for the APDN, if it was for that original trade there, we would only really be down. So if it wasn't for that, we'd just be break even on the day at $3. Instead, we decided to hold this way too long, and we lost almost $100 on it. So that's really disappointing. Things to do for next time is, when it's not working, cut the loss ASAP. There's a lot of trapped lungs in there that all want to get out too, so if you don't get out before them, you probably won't ever get out. It wasn't even green, it was below VWAP at open. It was an inevitable loss, and it didn't have to be that bad. Zero bounces to get out, just brutal. And what I told myself, what I did on BIMI was what I should have done with APDN. See how I got out right away when it broke VWAP, and look how much it corrected. So that's exactly what I should have done with APDN. Yeah, so pretty disappointing. I also considered maybe I should try short selling these. I seem to be buying a lot of red, so maybe I could make a profit if I was going short instead. Just a thought. Oh, whoops, my screen wasn't there. I just said all there was, I should have done with BIMI here. What I did was good, got out, and I should have done that with APDN. That's it for me today. I'm going to go take a nap. Pretty exhausted from that morning, honestly. It took a lot of energy. Fat loss. Try and chisel it back. If I can break even this week, that would be nice. We gave back our $29 of profit from yesterday, so that puts us at down like 46 so far in the week. So we still have 2 more days to make that back. If I can at least break even this week, that's good enough for me anyways. Peace out. Good luck trading.